All right, our favorite movie reviewer, Jackson Murphy, is here now. We went over yesterday. We went over all your some of your Oscar picks. And if people missed that, we have the Zoom meeting on the blog at 995theriver.com. But today we're talking about new stuff. How are you?
That's right. I'm great, Randy. I just want to know, did I win the trip to Iceland? That's what I really want to know.
You did not, but there is another chance to win coming up at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Because I was going to say, the people in Iceland may not be happy with what I thought of the Eurovision movie. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't win the trip to Iceland.
If you're a Will Ferrell fan, you're a Will Ferrell fan through and through. So what do we got today?
Okay, a film that's also not very good called Mortal Kombat. So this is the big new action movie, though. It's out this weekend. Regal Colony and Crossgates have reopened starting today. It's there on the big screens. You can see it. This is based on the classic video game franchise. And in this movie, an MMA fighter teams up with some very special people who have this dragon birthmark, not to be confused with the girl with the dragon tattoo. That's a completely different thing. But he teams up with them to defeat the most evil people in existence. This is as R-rated as it gets. I mean, some of the things that happen in this movie, I don't think I can describe on morning radio. It is something else. Nobody under the age of 15, 16 should see this film. It is very violent. I also wanted it to be more entertaining than it is. It's really not. I only chuckled a couple of times. It tries to be sort of guilty pleasure campy. But in the end, it's generic and bland, and that's really too bad. So unfortunately, I do not recommend Mortal Kombat.
Okay, so there's something new on Netflix this weekend too, right?
Right, film called Stowaway. Yet another astronauts, here we go to space. What's going on now? This one, Anna Kendrick, Toni Collette, Daniel Day Kim, 3-person crew on a mission to Mars. And all of a sudden, they're a couple hours into the mission, Randy, and Toni Collette looks up in the ceiling and she goes, wait, why is that thing moving? And it pulls down, and there's a guy in there. That's why it's called Stowaway. There's a guy who showed up a worker who showed up on this mission, and they don't know what to do now. And so that's the rest of the movie figuring this out. It's a ridiculous setup to begin with. But then it's one of those films where the writers try to write around their problems, and those films can always be annoying, and it feels like a soap opera, and the hokey music, and a lot of unanswered questions. And I like Anna Kendrick, but she's miscast in this. I do not recommend Stowaway either, unfortunately.
All right. There's one more. We're hoping that we find a good one. What's the next one?
Best movie of the weekend, by far. Film called Together, Together. This is in theaters. It is a dramedy. Ed Helms plays a guy in his 40s who decides he wants to have a kid. He hires a 26-year-old woman, played by Patty Harrison, to be the surrogate. And now the first 20, 30 minutes of this movie are rough. They are not very good. But this is one of those cases where you got to trust me and you got to stick with it, because the rest of the way from the second trimester on, it's excellent. Deep. The writer-director, Nicole Beckwith, really explores some deep themes and emotions, and there's some comedy in here as well, but the drama's really good. Ed Helms and Patty Harrison together are fantastic. Yeah, this is going to surprise a lot of people. Could be the indie dramedy darling of the year so far. I do recommend, again, stick with it, but you will get a lot out of Together, Together in theaters.
All right. Now, despite the snow we had the other day, the Malta DriveIn is opening.
Can you believe we had snow again? It's just, talk about ridiculous. But yes, the Malta DriveIn opens tonight for the 2021 season. I am the voice of the Malta DriveIn. Call them up at 518-587-6077. You can hear me name the movies each week. They've got Mortal Kombat again. Don't bring the kids to Mortal Kombat. Go over to Screen 2 and watch Tom and Jerry instead. But also, the box office opens at 6:30, and next Thursday, this Thursday coming up, April 29th, I will be there for Albany Film Festival free movie night event. The show times on both screens are at 8 p.m. Got some local short films, documentary called Impact, the film Cadillac Records, and the classic film Honeymoon Killers will all be shown as part of the Albany Film Festival. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's this coming Thursday, April 29th. It'll be another great season at the drive-ins.
All right. Can't wait. All right, Jackson, where do people find your reviews and such?
Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. And again, if you want all my picks in all 23 Oscar categories, go to lights-camera-jackson.com right there in the blog section and on the homepage. Enjoy the show on Sunday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for your help this week, and we'll go watch some movies.
Let's do it. Thanks.